Hey friend, welcome back. If balancing all of the things you've got going on in your schedule has always felt just a little bit too impossible, don't worry, it's not you. This video, we're going to talk about what might be going wrong and a realistic way that you can get all of the things done every single day that matter the most. But before we jump into this episode, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Tamara. I'm a busy working mom just like you, and I have a million things on the go all the time just like you. And I have figured out ways to use systems and frameworks to organize my life so that I can get things done without burning myself out in the process. And now I'm here to teach you how to do the same. Here's the thing about balance and why it feels so hard. When we're thinking about balancing all of the things that we have going on in our lives, we're assuming that that means we need equal amounts of time to fit in all of those activities, right? You need to spend the same amount of time with each of your kids as you are making dinner and working out and working on side projects. But here's the thing, that's not the way that we define balance over here. And actually, if you look up the definition of balance, it says an even distribution of weight enabling someone or something to remain upright. What I think of in that scenario is a tightrope walker walking across a wire. They're moving their weight side to side with that little bar thing that they're holding. They're shifting that weight. And sometimes that weight leans one way a little more, and sometimes that weight leans to the other side. And it all depends on where they're moving, the wind that's coming at them, anything that they're having to adjust in their body. And so if we look at balance from that point of view, it makes a lot more sense if we are moving our weight and what we're focusing on based on what we have coming in at us, then balance can actually make sense for a working mom. Now, this is something I've worked on for a really long time because I was feeling very burnt out as a mom and as a business owner and as just a woman in the world. And I wanted a way to be able to give attention to all of the important areas in my life every single day. And so I had to determine how I could shift my weight from one side to the other to make sure that all of those important areas were getting looked after. One of the other things that drives me absolutely crazy is when I'm listening to other people give advice about managing your time as a working mom. Like, get up earlier, just get up at 5 a.m. every day and get 3 things done that are on your list, and then you'll be ahead of the game, right? What if you wake up and those kids have been sick all night and you really don't feel like getting out of bed at 5 a.m. and then your whole day that you had planned goes to pot because you now have to reschedule everything because all your kids are sick. The other thing that people say is just delegate it. Get those kids to do things in the house. Get your husband to help out around the house. Hey, I believe that everybody that lives in the home should be participating in the maintenance of the home. But delegating is just another chore you're having to check in on everybody to make sure that they're doing. It doesn't work. And the last one of my most favorite is when I hear people say, hey, moms, you're doing too much. You need to make sure that you take time for yourself. And then they're going to give you absolutely no practical way of how you're supposed to actually incorporate time for yourself in that already busy schedule. But guess what, Mom? Today, I've got you. I'm going to be sharing with you my secret to success for balance in my own life, which is what I call the 4 keys to balance. These aren't productivity hacks. They are anchors. They are the small things that we can do daily to make sure that we are giving attention and intention to these important areas in our lives. Now, I'm going to go through all 4 of them, and you can decide if they will work for you and which ones you want to work on right away and which ones you want to wait and work on later. I really suggest just picking 1 or 2 of them to start with, getting those incorporated into your day, and then adding as you go on. Key number 1 is your top of funnel task. Now, what does that mean? So if you're new around here, which most of you are because this is a new platform for us, we do not use to-do lists in the Balance It method. Shocker, right? We do not write to-do lists. What we have instead is what I like to call a priority funnel. This is a funnel that we create once a week during our weekly planning session, which, if you are unfamiliar with our weekly planning, you can check out the link below to a workshop that I've created that will teach you all about the weekly planning process. This priority funnel has all of the important tasks that need to get done in the week ahead in priority sequence. So obviously, most important is at the top, and then it trickles down to the least important. So each and every day of the week, you are doing the top of the funnel task. You will schedule that into your day during your weekly planning session so you know exactly when you're getting that important thing done. Key number 2, clean for 15. We all know how disorganized we feel when our homes are a chaotic mess. So scheduling in 15 minutes every day to focus on cleaning will help you to manage the clutter in your mind along with the clutter in your home. You can systemize this clean for 15 in any way that you like, whether it be you're focusing on one room for 15 minutes. I specifically like to use a zone cleaning system for my home, which I'm not going to talk too much about on here today because in the spring we're going to be doing a cleaning challenge, and I'll be walking you through that entire system on here if you'd like to take part in that. So make sure you're subscribed so that you get the notifications when spring cleaning time comes around. But anyway, that clean for 15 can look however you want it to look. But really what you're doing is setting a timer and focusing on cleaning one area of your home for 15 minutes every single day. That can be at the same time every day. It can be moved around wherever it fits in. And that, again, is why the weekly planning session is so vital to make sure that you are able to incorporate this into your schedule. Key number 3, QT30, or quality time for 30, which is quality time spent with your people, whoever those people are, your children, your husband, your family, your friends, whoever it may be. This QT30 is intentional time where you're putting away your phone, you are not being distracted, and you are spending quality time with the people that you care about. As busy moms, we can be constantly reacting throughout our days, constantly shifting our weight on that wire, that it's so easy for us to lose sight of that connection time to our kids and our families. And don't know about you, but I know some days putting my kid to bed, that was the first time all day that I actually looked into his eyes or got to hold him. And so I would go to bed then feeling really guilty that I didn't spend more time with him, especially during these younger years, right? Because they're only little for so long. And why are we so busy all the time? And so this QT30 really removed that guilt factor that I was feeling and allowed me the opportunity to intentionally connect with my kiddo every single day. And finally, key 4, pockets of peace. Now, these are your tiny little self-care tasks that you can sprinkle into the pockets of your day. So when you have a spare 5-10 minutes before doing an activity, could you do something for yourself during that time rather than trying to think of other productive things that you could do around the house? I personally like to use this in between the transitions of my time blocks during the day. So when I'm transitioning out of the morning time block after I drop my kid off at school and I'm needing to get into work mode for the day, I will do a little something to help me get into that mood so I'm ready for work. And then again, at the end of the day, when I'm waiting to pick my kid up from school and I'm done work and we're going to be transitioning into that really busy PM block of our day, that is when I will do another self-care task that will get me into that busy mom mode. A lot of the time we look at self-care as something that has to be like, we're taking a whole day to go to the spa or to get our nails done or something like that. When in reality, these little drips of self-care into our self-care cups will really help to fill us up over time and make sure that they don't run dry. These 4 keys work so well because they allow you to have those touch points in your day of those really common areas to fall behind on or feel really bad about, whether that be keeping a clean home, or getting stuff checked off the list, or spending time with the people you care about, or taking care of yourself, all of those areas are important and deserve attention. And these 4 keys will help you to be able to do that. Thank you, my friends, for tuning into this episode. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please like and subscribe and make sure that you will not miss the next one. I'll see you then.